We're over 60k in distance now, so I've done another 10k or maybe a bit more since we last spoke. Yeah, feeling it, man. It's hurting. I'm trying to get back as much distance as possible before I can rest. Also, I'm still struggling to find where to sort of set up camp. I'll keep you updated. I know it's not, you haven't got the best views at the minute, but if it makes you feel better, there's marshland everywhere, water everywhere. That's about it. I'll see you in a bit, team.
They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage.
Hello team, so we find ourselves in Hunstanton. We are going to see if we can make it all the way across the Norfolk coastal path in one day. See if we can then find a camping spot and see if we can then make it back. It's going to be over 100 miles of walking / running. Come along with me, I'll take you on the journey. Let's go.
You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. Think that using her would get to me. And if you're right, then you're in trouble, D. Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble,
So we've just set off, and already to start off with, it's just sand, 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 so it makes it quite hard going. But all good so far. But I suppose there's mainly 3 elements of things that I want to try and display into these vlogs and things that I'm going to be doing. So the first one you saw last week, which is the actual physical training, some mindset work as well, and the normal physical, you know, gym stuff, fitness work that I'll be doing. The second thing is applying it into challenges that I do, which is obviously something like today, where I'm going to be going along the Norfolk coastline, getting used to carrying pretty heavy weight, distance, moving across it with, you know, not too much food and water, which I'll show you guys later, by the way. And then the third one really is then where that all goes to. So the charities we're going to do work with, where the money goes to, and then the bigger challenge. Obviously these things are like training, mental preparation, physical preparation, but actually when we go out and do some of these challenges, it's going to be a lot bigger and a lot harder than this. And I'll obviously hopefully have the skills and eventually have the team table to document it, tell the story of it, show you the hardship, the things that come with it, and hopefully you guys can take a lot away from it, and hopefully you can come with me on the journey as we try and use probably this main skill I have, which is to work hard to then actually hopefully help other people. So let's see how we get on. 1k in, about 70 to go. Let's see if we can get there before midnight, which is in about 16 hours time. Look at that, absolutely glorious. Such a nice day so far. It's freezing, but obviously the sun's up, so you can't complain. About half an hour in, I've done 4k, so not too bad to begin with. I'm pretty happy, to be fair. We'll see. The weight feels heavy though, so I imagine it's going to catch me later on, and it's nice and flat at the moment as well. We will see, team. Let's keep it going.
I don't want you, just scared to try. Even if the odds are in my favor, I just need more time. So if you wait just a little bit longer, I will.
So team, the plan is obviously to try and go as far down the coast as possible before I need to stop, basically. To try and find somewhere to camp, because I've got all my camping gear with me, have some food and that, wake up in the morning, then return the exact same route. So it'll be a good little mental test. Navigation wise, I am literally just cuffing it, I won't lie to you. So I haven't got any maps or anything, but I've obviously got my phone, I've got my watch, which has got GPS if I do get completely lost. And obviously the plan is to follow the coastline, which hopefully it'd be funny if I do get lost. The plan is to follow it, although as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty sunny at the minute, but all that land over there is all marshland, so I can't really cross that. So I've got to go inland over here for about, well, it looks like a good few, maybe 2 or 3 kilometers, then cut across, then come back inland again, which makes it fun because it adds more distance than we planned. But hey ho, it's all fun and games. Team, so that is 7.5k done in 1 hour. I'm using my Garmin to track distance just so I can see about, you know, likelihood of how long I'll be moving for throughout the day. So obviously if I can hold that pace, if I didn't stop moving, it'd be 10 hours. But I imagine I will need to just to stop for some food, and then obviously all the camera work, you get the drone up and things. We find ourselves in a really pretty little town now at the minute, and back inland, cutting across, then back to the beach. And I'll get the drone up and get some good shots as we move along the coastline. So loads of people are asking about what I've been eating after that first vlog. They're like, what do you eat? Nothing special. Don't really take any supplements. I don't take any supplements. Don't take any supplements at all. I'm not very good at drinking, so I always forget to drink enough or hydrate enough. So my body sort of got used to that now. So when I do drink a lot, I feel like Superman. And then food-wise, honest with you, it's just about, for me, getting calories in. I know when I need to eat. I try not to eat too much crap, but at the same time, I'm not ridiculously strict. To be honest with you, all the physical stuff I do, I need to just make sure I eat enough to keep going. So today, as an example, it's now obviously like 9 AM. I got up 4:30ish. Coffee, you saw bacon, 2 bacon bagels, and that's it so far. Not only had any water or anything yet, but I will shortly. And then I'll probably end up eating around lunchtime, just a few snacky bits and keep moving. When I'm doing something like this, I don't really want to eat too heavy foods. It just sits on you. So I'd rather eat little snacks and keep moving throughout, and then we can have, well, I'd say it's a dinner, but it's one of those ration pack kind of meals, boil in a bag meal things. So it's a kind of dinner. So yeah, that's nutrition in a minute. But when we get back to the tent, I'll pull everything out of the bag. I'll show you what I'm carrying with me, and I'll show you the kind of foods that I've been eating whilst I'm moving along here, team. Even if the odds are in my favor, I just need more time. So as we make our way inland again, so it's about 4k inland now. As we make our way back up, let's talk mindset. So big old challenge there and back. So the first thing that usually would tackle me and I would have to fight the mental urge with is that you've got to go out however far, and you know you've then got to repeat that on the way back. So I'm going to see all this same area, I'm going to go along this road facing the other way, you know, and do all those bits. So for me, I have to fight the mental urge to let that get in my head. So what I do then is I start playing a bit short game. So I don't think about what I'm going to do tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I just look at exactly what I'm going to work on now. So that's the first thing, I ditch that thought. The moment you ditch it, enables you to look at the task at hand ahead of you and go, right, okay, how are we going to get after this? So we've got trying to do 50 miles today. A few different aspects that are going to slow me down. First one's this bad boy, the weight. So carrying weight obviously slows you down. It means it's going to tire you out more. But then the second aspect that I expect is then just being tired. So when you're tired, traditionally you want to start slowing the pace a little bit. Then it gets in your head about how far you've got to go. All those little bits. So like I said last week, the first thing I do is look at wins. So I'm going to go, right, first challenge, 5k. Let's see if we can get 5k done in an hour. If I can get it done in an hour, then I'm winning in my head, because I'm thinking, right, well, that means 12 hours at that pace, I could get it all done. So I could be at the location, the goal that I want to try and accomplish at this time. The other aspect to it then is it enables you to stay positive, because you're always ahead of the game. You're always performing better than what you've expected. And then, like I said before, we're just going small goals because they all add up. So baby steps. It's exactly like when you're training. So So baby steps to get to where you want to get to. You don't just suddenly magically get it. I know they tell you that on Instagram and in front of magazines and stuff, but it doesn't really happen. So it's a long game. But to get there, you've got to take the small steps. So all I'm doing now is I've been going up a big old hill for about 2k. So I'm thinking, well, I'm just getting to the end of the hill. Once I get to the end of the hill, I'm like, happy days. And then I'm going, right, well, next thing I want to do is I want to get back towards the coastline in a minute. Once I get to the coastline, I'm like, ah, sweet. I'm moving on, next step, next step. So start breaking all things up in your head, and I'll keep you updated with how we get on. See the sea again, so let's go. We're firing through, come on. So need 2 hours in now. We're heading back towards the seaside now. I've just seen the sea again, which is nice, good bit of morale. What up, team? So what I would call is we're out of the fun zone. So the fun zone is like the start of the challenge. It's a bit new and it's exciting, and then you sort of get to a point where it's like the wall, you just hit it, you're like, oh god, here we go. Now I realise the magnitude of what you try to achieve or you're going to work through, or you realise how long or how much work you've got left to put in. Same as when you're doing your own challenges. So the key here then is try and smile. Know that you've done it before, you'll do it again. That's my sort of always my things, and I've got like a 50% rule. So if I can do 50% of it, I know I can get through the rest. So all I'm thinking about now is get to the halfway point, and once I get to that halfway point, I know I've got it in the bag and I can keep moving. So it's all good though, and to be honest with you, can't complain when you've got some wonderful views like this.
You can call me stupid. You can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D.
So food I've got bit of beef jerky and a sort of like a nutty bar thing. They'll do me for now. And I've got obviously some more. I've got some like energy gels and bits, but I'm going to save a lot of that stuff for later on when I really start to need it. Yeah, nice to see the coast. It's actually not too cold, so we're doing all right. Are we now? Let's have a little look. Yeah, edging on 30 kilometres now, 4 hours. It's a nice point to have a little stop and a break.
You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble.
This is my first time running on sand for a while. It's made me completely regret signing up to Marathon des Sables. And obviously the other consideration I've got coming up is that it's going to be getting dark soon. So it's 1 o'clock now, but by the time it hits 4 o'clock it'll be nearly dark, which is obviously going to impede on a bit of navigation, impede on finding a good area to camp, which is another consideration, which we're going to have to find somewhere, hopefully with a good view for the morning. And then also just consideration of how I'm getting on with the target of seeing how far we can get through today before we have to stop and camp up and rest, ready to head back tomorrow. So lots of things to think about, but for now, enjoying this wonderful view. And the sun has just popped out a little bit, and there's two things for morale, right? Sunshine and a nice hot drink, preferably a coffee. But those two things are great for morale, just to make you smile, keep you going.
You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm
Team, we have crossed the sand dune area now. We're now taking a turn into a bit of woodland along the coastline. and we're moving into a place called Wells. It looks like I've got like the OS map on my phone, so it looks like quite a big town. So I can grab some water. That's the only thing I'm going to need really, just for a bit of cooking later tonight. How am I feeling? All right, muscles tight, just like hips and stuff, but it's just, well, especially if there's any boot necks watching. You remember from yomping and bit, so your hips and that get tight with the bag and the load. And no, really enjoying it and enjoying like the challenge you're getting through. I tell you, it's gonna be interesting tomorrow, waking back up and repeating this. About 35k down now, so nearly done a marathon, and obviously then got a little bit further after. Well, I say a little bit further, quite a bit further after that. 5 hours down, so feeling all right so far, and like I've not had too much food. So obviously you've seen me had a few sweets, a little bar and a little beef jerky strip thing. So that's it over the 5 hours I've had, and I feel okay, obviously tired, but still moving. But I'd really love to hear of anything you guys have done recently challenge wise, or any challenges you've got coming up. If you want to pop them in the comments below, and I'll definitely spend an afternoon going through them and reply to them. Drop any bits of advice if I've done something similar to what you're trying to do. It doesn't need to be physical though. Remember, like, the whole idea of my channel and trying to put this out now is to, number one, document the story and some of the things I'm doing. But the biggest thing is actually to hopefully generate a much bigger thing than just myself, which is the ability for everyone to try and get in and help charity, for people to do a little bit more, for people to realise they can achieve more than they think, and I suppose really just try and make a massive influence. So I'd love to hear about challenges you guys have got home to, if it's anything you've done for charity recently, or if it's just something really small you've done at home during this second lockdown that you thought you know, and it made you feel like you'd achieved something. I'd love to hear what it is, so comment below. Like I said, don't matter how small or big, because everyone's in their own journey. Everyone's slowly building up their own ladder of progression. Obviously, it's really easy to compare. I do it all the time. It's so easy to compare, but they forget that, you know, behind me doing this walk, I've done lots of other walks or carried lots of weight before, or spent a lot of time training, and likewise, you see other people doing things, you think, wow, how they done them, but you just know behind that there's all the little baby steps and the progressions they've been making. So let's hear what you've been up to. Let's hear what you're going to be planning to doing maybe over the next year or two. Here we are. We have reached Wells by Sea, I believe it's called. Very pretty place. In fact, I've been here before, and the child in me knows, because I can see the arcade ahead. I know exactly that arcade. I think I won many 2p's there. Don't want to show off, but here we go. Nearly 6 hours now, moving forward, and sort of going through the wall a little bit now. I'm going to find somewhere just past this to sit down, then we're going to...
You can call me stupid, yes, you can call me sheep, you can say I'm lazy, you can say I'm weak. You think that using her will get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble, deep. Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait.
Hello team, so a little update for you. We are now 7 hours in, over 40 kilometers through. You know, I think it's starting to get dark now. Luckily I've got a light for this one now and a better microphone, so there shouldn't be as many complaints on the audio and the lighting when it gets a bit dark. Obviously it's 3:30 now, so we're edging towards when it's going to be pitch black soon, and when it does get pitch black, I'll talk to you a little bit about darkness and the things you can do to sort of help control feelings and decision making in the dark. So since I did the last vlog, I've had quite a few messages from people about mental health. People just saying they've been struggling either through lockdown or struggling mentally with dealing with the current situation or the situation they find themselves in. I suppose number one is everyone gets affected with mental health. I don't really know anyone that I've spoken to before that hasn't had problems with anxiety, doubts, worries, things that get on top of you. And I think especially in today's world, everyone's had different challenges through the era of time. 50 years ago, the challenge was not what it is now. It was completely different, and I think our challenge in this generation is the need for approval and comparing to others. They're two things that I've definitely been bad at in the past. The need to feel gratification from, or like fulfillment from other people's approval. And then the other one is always comparing to other people. And you know, in the social world, that's so, like, you just see it everywhere. So I suppose if I was trying to get something across, and I'm still on that journey now, I've had issues with anxiety, and my problem, and this stems back to one of the questions I have been asked, is why do I do these stupid challenges and stuff, is fulfillment. So I struggle to feel fulfillment in anything I do. So I'll complete something and then literally done, move on, next day I've forgotten about it and I'm already looking at what's next. So I never really feel fulfilled at all. So maybe the reason I do a lot of these challenges is I'm just hunting for that. And if that makes me hungry to go after it, awesome. But I know I've got to work on feeling relatively proud of stuff I've done in the past, which, you know, I really struggle with. But going back on topic, mental health, I've been giving a bit of advice out. You know, I'm not an expert in it and I don't have any qualifications in it, but I suppose I have some experience of dealing with certain hardships and things and scenarios. And for me, I always feel best when I'm back exercising again. I feel best when I'm back into a kind of routine. And that doesn't need to be anything major, because again, you see online people going, I'm waking up at 4 AM and I'm working out, I'm doing 2,000 burpees. But none of that stuff's, it's all pretend. So I like to sometimes sleep in. I sometimes like to go to bed really late. In fact, I go to bed really late all the time. And my workouts aren't always gnarly. So I try to, I suppose for you guys, take small steps towards getting a bit of a routine. And also, man, I'm always here if you need to speak to anybody, so feel free to drop me a message. I've spoken to a few people over the last week, which has been really nice. It's been really great to hear that they're making strides in, feeling better. And I suppose, which is the most important bit, which is being happy. Like Jesus, being happy. It's all about being happy and not letting outside factors that can't really or shouldn't affect you. One book I've read, and I'm starting to read it again at the minute, is like Stoics, so Stoicism, a way of thinking. And I really recommend having a look at it, because it really delves into what people think and how it messes with your head. When you think, oh, I'm searching for likes, I'm searching for other people to approve what I'm doing, and that stuff doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to look in the mirror at yourself, and you have to be happy with yourself and content and in a good state of mind. So those things are really important. I suppose the lesson out of all that is try not to look and judge at others or compare to others, and find what makes you happy, no matter how small or big it is, and get after it. And it's exactly what I'm doing. I needed something to work towards. I was feeling like I didn't have any challenges, or I didn't really feel like I feel like a caged animal, if that makes sense. So I had to make some changes for myself to be able to probably get back on hunting for what my limits are, whether that be learning something, doing something physical, doing something in extreme environments, all those different things. Anyway, I waffled on enough, so yeah, drop me a message, let me know. It'd be cool to hear some of the things you guys have done to either correct certain habits that you've had, or little tricks you've done, and I suppose everyone can learn from each other. But just know that you ain't on your own. Everyone's in the struggle, everyone's been in those situations before, so don't be afraid to talk about it. Doesn't matter how strong you think you are or any of that kind of crap. I've been there many a time, and I'm sure I'll be there again, especially doing some of these crazy challenges, or stupid. That's probably stupid, there's the right word. Awesome team. Well, darkness is coming in now. I don't know how far we've done, God knows, but we're moving through. I will see you all shortly. So I said I didn't know where I was going, which is true, and I am now lost. So the track that I found led me right into the middle of a load of marshland. So I am literally in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not joking, I've got 1k to go until we reach the point where I'm supposed to go. So I'm going to take a bit of a detour, Yeah, I'm going to try and find another way out because I've got no signal here, so no chance of looking at maps or find out where I'm going to go. So I'm going to backtrack my steps and see if I can find another route out. Bit of a pain because walking through this marshland now has meant I've got my feet are absolutely soaking wet, but it adds to the fun, and it's obviously getting pretty late now, so I'll keep you updated, team. Hopefully I can find a way out of this marshland.
Feels like I'm still